Hi, I'm Rosemarie from the Unfinished Lesson, and this is a series on getting our students set up for success using online storage. Now, I've been talking a lot about Google Drive because that's what I use. However, you can use this with really any online program that you're using for online storage. So in our first video, not visit, we looked at what do you need, like in terms of resources for your students to access during the week. In video 2, we took a look at basically setting up a family folder and why it's important we kind of think family and then go from there. In our third video, we were looking at having the subfolder. So I have a family folder, and then in video 3, we're talking about what to include for each student and how to get that organized. And now in our fourth video, then it was how to share these these folders with our clients. And today we're going to talk about the secret sauce. Okay, this is the thing that is going to make it a success. It's great to have this all set up, but you have to have an onboarding process. If you don't have an onboarding process, your students and your clients will not use it. It's great if you make a video, but we all know that they don't always watch these videos. So having an onboarding process that happens during lesson time is incredibly important. The reason I chose Google Drive is because it's something that my students were familiar with through school. So it meant it was less work and less onboarding because they were already familiar with that. Now, it could be that your district or your area uses something different, or it might be that you decide, you know what, I really love this other program or this other approach, and I'm going to use that. And just keep that in mind that for your onboarding process, you will need to teach that. So having it during lesson means you can let parents know ahead of time, I need you to be at lesson for part of it for this particular week. And I would recommend the first week. For students, then they also have a chance to do this. Let them know that they are going to need to use whatever device they will be accessing it through during the week. So a lot of my students, they'll just use a cell phone during the week. And so I make sure that while we're talking like this, they have the cell phone right then and there. So for the onboarding process, you want to do a few things. One, you want to make sure that they actually see the folder. That's the first thing you have to do. Sometimes, for example, in Google Drive, it means you have to go into the shared with me. If you go into shared with me, you can actually click on it so that it shows some options, and you can actually pin it so that it's one of the folders that you see all the time. And that's what you want families to do. You want to make sure that it's pinned so that as soon as they go into Google Drive or whatever it may be, they immediately see it. The second thing you want to do is make sure that they know how to get into the folder. So actually say, I want you to open X folder, right? Tell me what you see there. If you have a to print folder like I do, you are going to tell the parents what you're going to do after every single lesson or every single week. After lessons, you're immediately going to go into that folder, and I need you to print whatever is in there. If they're allowed to delete things once it is printed, for example, practice pages, then absolutely tell them this is what you can delete. If it's something that you are going to move over because you're teaching online or you're travel teaching and you need access to it digitally, then just let them know, if it isn't a practice page, leave it. I'm going to move it over. So for parents, that way they know exactly what is expected of them. If you have something already for them to print in there, great. You can get them to print it right then and there. The kids can go run and get it from the printer. A lot of families, a lot of printers, they have wireless capability in terms of just sending things from the phone. It's really great to be able to have that. And then that way the kids can grab it right away. You don't have to disrupt lesson. Once you have that, the parents aren't going to leave yet, because guess what? Kids, you explain things to them. Adults, you explain things to, and they forget. We all forget sometimes. It's going to take time for them to get used to it, so you need the parents to be helping you during the week for the first few weeks. Show them, for example, this is, Sally's folder. Okay, do you see how I've got backing tracks here? Anytime, Sally, that I'm asking you to improvise this year, there's going to probably be a backing track. And if it says there's a backing track on your practice page, this is exactly where you're going to find it. This is where you're going to find maybe technique exercises or ear training, whatever it is. You don't have to show them everything, but if you want them, for example, to send you videos, you'll have to do an onboarding process of, you're going to go into your folder. Do you see it? Do you see this is the folder that I want you to put it in? Okay, do you know how to upload into that folder? Yes? Okay, awesome. Starting your school year, spending a few minutes, honestly, like say 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, depending on the family, makes all the difference. And if you need to, just review it. Anytime a parent says, you know what, I wasn't sure, then make sure the student and the parent are there. Get them to do it in lesson. My clients actually got onboarded pretty quickly with this. It didn't take very long before they were able to get the resources. They knew what they needed to print off because we had this onboarding process right in lesson time, and they could ask me or let me know if something went wrong. We don't want to have to give up our private time, our personal time for things like this. Not when we could put a system in place, and this was in a video from a different series, and I'll put the link below. We want systems in place so that our clients and our students can be successful. So that's what you're going to do this week. I want you to write out the onboarding process for lesson time. How exactly are you going to take your clients from they've never seen this before to, by the time that you're done the onboarding process, that they're going to be able to do it independently, and your students as well. Trust me, 6 or 7-year-olds can do this as well. They just need a little extra practice. So it's not just for your teen or adult students. All right. If this series has been helpful for you, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I'm going to continue doing series like this so that I can help you get balance in your life, creativity in your studio, because when we have systems and things like this in place, both of those things are completely possible, and it completely rocks. It really does. I can tell you that from experience, having both of those. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below how this all works out.